Good morning, students. This is Vishal sir from Ikra High School. Today, we are going to continue Chapter 1 from Standard 9, Subject Science, NCERT syllabus. Our today's topic starts from Can matter change its state? Now, as you know, that water exists in three states of matter. It exists as solid in ice, liquid, as we are familiar with water, and in gaseous also as water vapor. So, how come a single matter can exhibit in three different states of matter? So, that is what we are going to study today. There are two main criteria that we have to understand while understanding the change in state of matter. The first criteria that enables a matter to change its state is temperature. We'll understand this with the help of an activity. Activity 1.12. Take about 150 gram of ice in a beaker and suspend a laboratory thermometer so that its bulb is in contact with the ice as shown in figure 1.6. Here in the diagram you can understand how the apparatus has been set up. The thermometer is suspended in the flask which contains ice. The flask is above a burner. The heat is provided to the ice, the temperature is been noted in the thermometer, and there is also a glass stirrer. We have to understand at what temperature does there is a change in the state of matter. How temperature affects the matter to change its state. Start heating the beaker on a low flame. Note the temperature when the ice starts melting. Note the temperature when all the ice has converted into water. Record your observation for this conversion of solid to liquid state. So dear students, as you observe, on increasing the temperature of the solids, the kinetic energy of the particle increases. That means every matter is made up of particles. And when heat is provided to particles, there is a certain kinetic energy of the particle, and even there is an increase in the kinetic energy when energy is provided. That means the heat energy is provided to it. Now, due to the increase in the kinetic energy, the particle starts vibrating with greater speed. The energy supplied by the heat overcomes the force of attraction between the particles. As you know, the particles in the solid are closely packed. When in liquid, they are loosely connected. In gaseous, it are more loose than in the solid. So, the kinetic energy in the solid particles increases at a greater extent and it starts breaking its own force of attraction. That means the force that kept the particle close to each other. And after breaking its own force of attraction, it will transform into a loosely packed or loosely connected particles. Thus, the energy supplied by the heat overcomes the force of attraction between the particles. The particles leave their fixed position and start moving freely. There comes a stage when the solid melts and it converts into a liquid. At that moment, the temperature remains fixed, and that is the minimum temperature at which a solid melts to become a liquid at the atmospheric pressure is called the melting point of that particular matter. Thus, the melting point of ice, as you will note in the thermometer, will be 273.15 Kelvin. That is, if you convert into Celsius, it will be 0 degrees Celsius. The process of melting, that is a change of solid state into liquid state, is also known as fusion. Now, when a solid melts, its temperature remains same. So you must have observed the temperature does not increase as the ice keeps on melting. It remains at one constant position. You must have observed during the experiment of melting that the temperature of the system does not change after the melting point is reached till all the ice melts. This happens even though we continue to heat the beaker. That is, we contribute to supply the heat. This heat gets used up in changing the state by overcoming the force of attraction between the particle. So you must have observed that though we are providing heat, there is not any increase in the temperature after certain extent. So as this heat energy is absorbed by the ice without showing any rise in the temperature, it is considered that it gets hidden into the content of the beaker and is known as the latent heat. The word latent means hidden, and the amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kilo of solid into a liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is known as the latent heat of fusion. So particles in water at 0 degrees Celsius have more energy as compared to particles in ice at the same temperature, because the kinetic energy of the water will be more than the kinetic energy of the particles of the ice. Now let's continue our half-done experiment. Record your observation for this conversion of solid to liquid state. Now put a glass rod in the beaker and heat while stirring it till the water starts boiling. Keep a careful eye on the thermometer, reading till most of the water has vaporized. Record your observation for the conversion of water in the liquid state. So dear students, in the second half, when we try to boil the water, again we will come to an observation where the temperature after boiling does not rise. As soon as the water starts boiling, the temperature of the thermometer will not go up. It will remain at a constant position. That means when we supply heat energy to water, particles start moving even faster. At a certain temperature, a point is reached when the particles have enough energy to break free from the force of attraction of each other. At this, the temperature of the liquid starts changing into gas. The temperature at which a liquid starts boiling at the atmospheric pressure is known as its boiling point. So there was a melting point where the solid started to melt into liquid at certain temperature. For water it was 0 degrees Celsius, or you can say 273 Kelvin, while there is also a certain temperature at which a liquid starts boiling where at the same atmospheric pressure is known as the boiling point. Here the boiling point of water will be 373 Kelvin, that is 100 degrees Celsius. Just like the latent heat of fusion, we can define the latent heat of vaporization. When the liquid changes into solid, we can say that the temperature does not increase, but the temperature is hidden in the content to break the bond between the two particles and set it free. And that is the temperature that is hidden in the content. Thus, we can say that the latent heat of vaporization has played its role in breaking or in changing a liquid matter into a gaseous matter. Here in activity 1.13, we will observe that a solid substance direct changes into gaseous substance when heat is provided to it. As you have learned, when solid substance is provided heat, it changes into liquid, and then on providing more heat, it changes into gaseous. But there are certain substances which directly change from solid substance to gaseous substance on providing heat. So here we are considering camphor or ammonium chloride, and we are crushing it and putting it in a china dish. We put an inverted funnel over the china dish and a cotton plug over the other end of that funnel. While heating the china dish, we will observe that there is a direct change from solid to gaseous without changing into liquid state. And this process is known as sublimation. That is the direct change of solid to gas. When a gas directly changes into solid, we call it deposition. Now, as you have studied that temperature plays an important role in changing the state of matter, there is one more factor which does a similar action like temperature. It is the pressure. What will happen when we start putting pressure and compress a gas enclosed in a cylinder? Will the particles come closer. If you observe the diagram, you will see something like this. The gaseous particles are compressed and brought closer to each other. But with bringing closer to each other, that does not make it a liquid. For that, we again need temperature to be lowered down. When we lower down the temperature, the particles which are closer to each other may liquefy. And still, if we keep on compressing and lowering the temperature, it will solidify, as you can see in the third diagram. Applying pressure and reducing temperature can liquefy gas. In that way, we can obtain solid carbon dioxide. Solid carbon dioxide is nothing else but the solid form of carbon dioxide gas. It gets converted directly to gaseous state on decrease of pressure to 1 atmosphere without coming into liquid state. This is the reason that solid carbon dioxide is also known as dry ice. That means it doesn't contain any moisture. Thus, we can say that pressure and temperature, the two factors that determine the state of the substance, whether it will be solid, liquid, or gas.